Hi, everyone. It's me again. I wonder what you all do for entertainment or torture. I've come to realize that entertainment and torture are kind of the same thing to me. I'd probably do well if I had a girlfriend who was a sadomasochist who wore, whips and things, but no, I just have my dog, which is probably better at this point. Um, but I'm working on the third book after many years of respite from it. And I got to say, it's like things had a life of their own when you put awareness and attention on them. I once read a thing or I saw a video or something about somebody describing how even like if you were in an emotional state and you were hugging your pillow on your sofa to you, then that that object could get imprinted with your emotions. A long time ago, very long time ago, my first wife was she painted something and on a canvas, and she had all this emotion that went into it, and it was just like chaotic and kind of ugly, but it was cool too because it was a work of her expression of the feeling in the moment. She hung it up on our wall above our bed, and in the middle of the night, sleepwalking of all things, I got up, pulled it off the wall, explained to her how it was attracting very negative forces to us, and opened the door, still asleep, and threw it outside and then lay back down in bed. And she told me the next morning what I did. And of course, she didn't allow me to have it put back on the wall. Um, it's so interesting. I was watching Cliff High, who's the fascinating fellow who has an algorithm that detects linguistic patterns in the world thought sphere and can somewhat predict the future based upon what the algorithm shows. And he's been very accurate, including applying it to Bitcoin and currency trading. Um, so, and I saw this video where he said that in Vietnam, they had night vision scopes that were the first edition of them that had red filters instead of the green. Today we use green. But they developed a problem because the gunners on some of the ships in the flotilla in Vietnam would start freaking out when wearing the goggles and shooting at something that didn't appear to be there. And it turns out when the officer who was curious about what was going on put on the goggles, he saw what looked like flying demons who could look back at him and interact with him and were gesturing at him. And the gunners on these airplanes, these ships, they felt like they were personally being attacked and they were shooting into the air, this artillery. And so it makes one wonder, about these alternate dimensions and shamanic landscapes and dreamscapes and all of this and just how relevant that might be if we're living in a dream. And then again, I've always said there's no reason to get hung up in, quote, the nightmare stuff or the bad stuff. But I also think ignoring it or running from it or not recognizing it, like not recognizing the scope of what you might call shadow or evil and only trying to garner towards the light, you create a split and a schism in the psyche that you can't perceive those things that you might be better off to be able to perceive. Now, again, you don't go into fear, you don't go into fear vibration, but the more you know, the more you let go of. And so that's kind of the message, the more you know, the more you really don't know, and the less you care, and you let go of it, and you follow the current of life. And I'll see you next week.